Up next on Connections, we'll introduce you to the new chairman of the board who has a long history in public service. You'll hear about budget plans. We'll tell you about 5 CTA employees who were honored for exemplary public service. And we'll put you in a festive mood with CTAgifts.com and a ride on the holiday train. The CTA, working hard to improve, committed to quality and its riders. Welcome to Connections. The CTA, delivering quality, affordable transit that links people, jobs, and communities. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. CTA is excited to welcome new Chicago Transit Board Chairman Terry Peterson. As the new chairman, he has many plans for CTA's future.
I was in public service for almost 17 years. Started out working in an automatic office for about 3.5 years on the far south side. Went from there to Assistant Commissioner, Department of Planning and Development. From there, worked in the mayor's office, and from there I actually ended up serving in the city council for about 4 years. And then in June of 2000, was appointed by the mayor as CEO for the Chicago Housing Authority. So I was there for a little bit over 6.5 years.
When he was Chief Executive Officer at Chicago Housing Authority, I worked with him in a variety of capacities. I'm delighted that our paths have again crossed. He's always been a type of leader that values both fiscal responsibility and needs, and also understands the human side of the decisions we make and the impact these decisions will have on the people we serve.
Chairman Peterson has had a long history with the City of Chicago and is looking forward to more public service with CTA. As chairman of the board, he works closely with the CTA president.
The board or the board chairman, we deal with more of the policy stuff. So things that the agency wants to do normally comes before the board for approval in either resolution form or ordinance form. But we provide, direction to the president through passing resolutions or passing ordinances. So it's really sort of working hand in hand, but the separation would be that the president is sort of the day-to-day managing the staff, keeping the agency moving forward. The board or the chairman is the other side of that in terms of the policy side and working to ensure that the agency is moving in the right direction.
Chairman Peterson is joining CTA at a tough time economically, but he looks forward to the challenge and continues to search for ways to keep CTA a viable option for everyone.
It came in with 30 days to pass a $1.3 billion budget with a $300 million hole. I mean, the CTA is facing the same kind of challenges that the city's facing, the state facing, entities around the country are facing. That is that, the recession has caused sales taxes to be down, real estate transfer taxes to be down. So we're all trying to figure out how do we continue to provide service and how not to, as little as possible impact our customers and those that utilize our service.
Budget issues and capital funding are Chairman Peterson's priorities right now. He compares his experience at the Chicago Housing Authority, or CHA, with the job he's doing at CTA.
At both agencies, you're helping people. I think, at CHA, it was providing housing for people who were working to try to move forward in life. I think same thing here. There are so many of our riders who are transit dependent in terms of being able to get to work and get home. And they need transit. So the parallel would be in that sense is that there are two agencies, both involves the public, both involves trying to make a difference in their lives. I would say my number one goal would be to, once we get past the budget, is to sit down with Rich and start to talk about a strategy in terms of how do we really work with different groups and organizations to come up with a strategy, as well as elected officials on coming up with a more permanent capital funding source. So I think a major investment in our capital upgrade, in our system would be a huge benefit to the public.
Chairman Peterson may have a tough time ahead, but he knows the value of CTA and is confident in its future.
I think if you take a look at, riding mass transit, whether it's a bus or a train, and you take a look at the value, We'll get you to where you need to go. You don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry about, polluting the environment. It's a great value. I think it's a great value. We want to continue to make it the number one option for people as they move around the city and the region.
The public is always welcome to attend board meetings. Check transitchicago.com for more information. Just ahead on Connections, CTA Award winners. So how does CTA help you for the holidays?
Well, it gets me where I want to go, to be with my friends and family.
And so we're really, really busy during the holidays, so I have to work long hours and stuff like that. So it helps me get to work. I have to be there, so everyone can buy their presents for our kids.
And we wouldn't have to worry about parking, and it was more convenient to just kind of come and go as we please to the stores and everything, and then come back, and it was great.
It's just something else that you don't have to worry about. And during the holidays, road rage is ampant.
I would take the train to go shopping, yeah.
And why would you choose CTA over, say, driving or something else?
Just if I want to go downtown, because Michigan Avenue is so hectic that I would just take the train.
I go shopping downtown, and the CTA helps big time because it just gets you where you need to go and really fast.
Combining technology and teamwork while delivering dependable, affordable transit. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. This month, we have a group of employees who were recognized for their dedication at the Cathy Osterman Awards banquet. Take a look at all their hard work.
We have wonderful public servants on a daily basis that give their time and effort on behalf, go beyond just an 8-hour job to do extraordinary things in government. And I really salute them, I thank them. This is a great career, it's a great profession. You should be proud of what you're doing at all times because you're really serving the people of the city of Chicago.
Mayor Daley and many others were at the recent Cathy Osterman Award banquet to recognize outstanding city employees.
As you know, for the past 41 years, we've been honoring municipal employees who make extraordinary contributions to the city and who have made positive impacts on the lives that they touch. The awards originally began as the Public Service Awards, and in 1993 remained and were renamed in the honor of the late Cathy Osterman.
Cathy Osterman was a dedicated community organizer and alderman. Her example inspires many to give their all for the city of Chicago. CTA is proud to have 5 employees that were recognized at the banquet. This month, we want to show you the highlights and feature Janette Martin, who won for Outstanding Executive Employee.
Whether it was behind the wheel or in the front office, Ms. Martin's always understood the importance of providing quality service to the public and has worked to instill that principle in others. She's been instrumental in developing and instituting measures that have improved service, employee morale, efficiency, safety, and cost effectiveness. Our outstanding executive and employee winner, Janette Martin.
I'm the vice president of 8 bus garages, as far south as 103rd and far north as Armstrong, the Forest Glen Garage. Also in charge of bus service management, who monitors our supervisors who deal with the daily operation of our street service.
Ms. Martin has a long history with CTA and spends her days doing everything she can to make bus operations run smoothly.
I came back to Chicago in 1983 and got hired as a full-time bus operator. I went into supervision and I started progressing into other jobs. I spent a lot of time in the control center, which was one of my favorite places because that was my major communication and I loved broadcasting. So I was a bus controller and then I ended up cross-training to rail. After working as a rail controller for years, it was time to move on, so I went into management. I worked as a manager for 6 years at various garages, and now here I am today, the Vice President of CTA.
Because of her knowledge, Ms. Martin has been key in training and customer service.
The AVAS system is our automatic vehicle annunciator system on the bus that calls your bus stops. That system pulls down every piece of data on that bus, and we use that for our measures. We have a ton of measures we use monthly with our bus operators because customer service is so important in bus operations because we are the front line of CTA. So the AVAS system, we use that system to measure our operators' performance.
The Cathy Osterman Award Program recognized several CTA employees this year. Ms. Martin won the award for Outstanding Executive Employee, and there were 4 other CTA employees who were finalists in other categories.
It was great. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment, you know. I always attend the awards. Never thought anyone would nominate me, you know, because it's just rewarding to see your employees receive it. So I was honored. To be recognized throughout the city is great. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. And I feel like I've reached my plateau. I finally arrived.
Other finalists were Louis Cantu, General Manager. He's been instrumental in revolutionizing fare collection. Valent Wright, Administrative Manager. She's responsible for administrative functions at all 8 bus garages. Jairo Naranjo, Bus Operator. He's always willing to help passengers and works hard to give them a pleasant ride. And Joyce Shaw. Every time you see CTA trains, buses, or stations on film or television, Ms. Shaw was responsible for making it happen.
They truly lead by example. They are examples for which we can all be proud.
It's employees like Janette and the other finalists that make CTA such a great place to work. There's been a lot of information in the news lately about CTA's budget, so we spoke with President Richard Rodriguez to get the full story.
With the onset of the recession, government agencies, private businesses, and individual households all faced budget challenges, and the CTA was no exception. Balancing the budget was extremely challenging this year.
Fall is budget season for the CTA. Like so many other businesses throughout the country, the recession is impacting the agency's bottom line. What many people don't know is that farebox revenue doesn't cover the cost of operating the service. CTA relies on sales taxes and real estate transfer taxes to pay for about half of its operating budget. These revenues are sensitive to the economy and have taken a big hit in the past year. Before considering the budget each year, the president and board members also take into account riders' views and concerns about how these recommendations would impact them.
We held public hearing meetings on the west side, on the north side, on the south side. From what we heard from the public, they wanted the opportunity to, just deal with some of the challenges they were facing without the increasing of fares. And I would say across the board, that was the thing we heard. The RTA will make $83 million of capital funds available, which will allow us to transfer more federal capital to our operating budget. The result of this change is that there will be no fare increase in the 2010 budget that we're passing today.
Through our own initiatives, as well as recommendations from the Illinois Auditor General, the CTA has taken significant steps over the last few years to operate more efficiently. They include aggressive overtime management, hiring freezes on non-essential personnel, required unpaid days for management, reduction of departmental budgets, contract reductions, and strategic capital investments to produce operating savings. We are asking our non-union employees to take up to 12 furlough days. Their holidays will be unpaid. Once again, non-union employees won't get raises. We are also eliminating up to 100 administrative jobs. With the proposed job reductions, CTA will have reduced its non-union workforce by 19% since 2007. In addition, non-union employees have not received an increase in their take-home pay since 2006.
Once all of the internal cost-cutting measures were made part of the budget plan, CTA was forced to look at service in order to fill the gap. The service reductions are designed to impact customers as little as possible. By starting service on select routes later and ending service earlier, and reducing frequency primarily during off-peak hours, the agency has preserved as much service as possible for riders.
The goal is to not impact our rush hour crowd and ensure that individuals can still get to work, to and from work efficiently. And our bus routes, the frequencies that we'll be looking at again, are typically and predominantly on our off-peak hours, so during the day. There will be a slight impact during peak hours, but we would attempt to try and impose those at the beginning, the very beginning hours of rush hour, and at the end of rush hours when we have the least amount of riders. Unfortunately, we can't change service without impacting our employees. So as we reduce and find efficiencies in our service, we unfortunately have to look at rail and bus operators in terms of laying off those positions.
What this means for customers is that they may have a longer wait and that they will be less likely to get a seat. Both buses and trains will be crowded at all hours. CTA reminds customers to use Bus Tracker. With less frequency of buses, this helpful tool will keep you from standing outside waiting longer than necessary. Only 9 express bus routes that have corresponding local service will be eliminated. The service changes go into effect February 7th.
Riders are struggling through this economy, and as much as we are, the CTA was reluctant to consider actions that would hurt customers. Our main objective was to manage responsibly and develop a plan that will allow us to reduce operating costs and weather this recession without decimating the system.
Although the board approved the budget for next year, CTA is continuing to have discussions with the state for funding alternatives and with its unions to help further reduce costs. We'll continue to keep you posted. Still to come, tips for a more pleasant ride. On an average weekday, the CTA provides 1.7 million rides, getting people where they need to go around Chicago and the 40 surrounding suburbs. If you want to hop aboard, here's how to get all the information you need. Online, go to www.transitchicago.com. There you can access system maps, bus and train schedules, and service updates. You can even use the Google Trip Planner. Enter where you want to start, where you want to go, and what time you plan to travel. Another option, make the connection by phone. Call 836-7000 from any local area code.
Max, are you in here?
Turn off the lights.
Sorry.
I'm saving energy, helping the environment.
Where are you?
Make a left. No, the other left. My pizza box collection.
Ow.
Hey, I don't have a cat. Watch out for the...
Max, there's an easier way to help the environment, and it won't be such a pain in the neck.
Take public transportation. Go green. Go public. A message from the public transportation systems across the country.
The word connection, a link or a spark that brings people together. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. CTA is committed to making every ride a pleasant one for its customers. And here are a few things that you can keep in mind when you're riding CTA. CTA is doing everything possible to remind customers to use courtesy on their ride, such as texting on your cell phone rather than talking when possible.
We also have the car cards reminding everybody in print about being courteous and the different ways that we can be courteous while riding the bus. I just think that people have to be more conscious of their surroundings. This is public transportation and we are in close proximity to other people, so just be aware of where you are, who you are, and the people around you, and encourage courtesy to everyone.
There are several things that you can do to make everyone's ride on CTA a more pleasant one.
Real big topic is certainly cell phones, because people sometimes talk too loud on the cell phone, so it would be better if you could text instead of talking on the cell phones.
Some people just want to get on a train, they want to read, they want to relax, and a lot of times they really don't want to hear what you have to say to your friend that you're talking to on the phone. So go ahead and text. Another thing you can do, put it on vibrate. That way everyone isn't hearing your ringtones where you're disturbing other people around you. Courtesy is treating others basically the way that you want to be treated. So one thing that you can do when you're getting ready to get on a train, instead of you standing in the middle of the door there, allow customers to get off the train. So stand to the side. Once all of them have alighted, then you can go head on and board the train.
One initial thing is when you're boarding the bus, people can move out of the way of the doors so that passengers can board and pay their fares easily.
Another thing, let's say that you have a paper, a newspaper, or even bags or anything like that. Instead of putting the bags in a seat next to you, it would be a good idea just put them on your lap. That way, the seat is available for another customer that comes along and needs to sit down.
Take your backpack off if you have large purses or bags. We have an area in the front where you can put your bags or put your bags in your seat instead of the seat next to you.
Let's treat everyone the way we would like to be treated. Let's be courteous so that everyone will have a pleasant ride.
As always, be considerate of all the riders around you, and everybody will have a great trip. Up next, CTA gifts make shopping easier. Getting from here to there quickly, easily, and without breaking the bank. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. Can you believe that the holidays are right around the corner? Well, here at the CTA, we're trying to make your shopping just a little bit easier.
CTAgifts.com is an online store where customers can go and purchase CTA or Chicago-themed merchandise. We have everything from great apparel, retro items, as well as trinkets and memorabilia.
CTAgifts.com is open to anyone that's interested in owning a little piece of the Chicago Transit Authority.
I think that you have your transit enthusiasts, definitely. You have young children who are just in awe of the transit system itself. And then you have the Chicagoans who like to show some loyalty and some respect to the city itself.
There are old favorites, new products, and even customizable merchandise available. You can get a t-shirt with your favorite train or bus stop.
Some of our more popular items to date are our CTA shower curtain, our rail map system puzzle, which is awesome. It's a great puzzle of 500 pieces for $15. It'll keep you occupied for a while. And then we also have a handcrafted wooden train that's great. That's a great collectible item. And then we have a more economical version of that train for children. We have a great stocking stuffer this holiday season. With any purchase over $15, our customers will receive a free CTAgifts.com packet map. CTAgifts.com offers great holiday shopping. We're fun, we have economical gifts, and it's exciting to go on a website. It's convenient shopping, basically. From your desk, from your home, you can just shop and buy gifts for everyone in your family.
I can't wait to make a few additions to my own holiday shopping list. It's my favorite time of the year, and you know what that means? It's time for the holiday train.
The holiday train began about 19 years ago over on the Blue Line. The staff on the Blue Line at the time wanted to do something to celebrate the holiday and bring a little Christmas cheer to the riders. And then over the years it evolved, it grew, it got bigger, better, brighter.
Besides bringing so much joy to Chicago residents, the holiday train plays an important part in many lives.
During the course of the holiday season, the train stops on various locations throughout the city, and working with our Government Community Relations Department, what we do is deliver food to needy families along the way.
The holiday train donations come from our employees. They donate to the cause out of the goodness of their hearts, and those donations go 100% to providing food baskets for the less fortunate in the community. And then the holiday train, Santa, the elves and all, travels around the system and meets these groups at various stations and drops off the food baskets. And I think it's a great testament to the authorities' employees. They're the ones that provide the monetary support so that we can carry this tradition on.
CTA begins working months in advance to get the train all ready for Santa.
Well, you are very, very lucky. We are in Santa's Workshop Midwest, and what we're doing is preparing the train for Santa when he comes to visit with us the first weekend before Thanksgiving.
Santa's Workshop starts right after Labor Day, and they start working on the flat car in order to decorate it and get it ready to go for the season. And then they follow it up with decoration of the passenger cars, which form the Santa train.
We string the lights on the cars, we put a wrap outside the car to give it a very festive nature. Then we go inside the cars, we exchange the seats with holiday seats, hang garland, ribbons, and bows. So when you step into the cars, it's Christmas, outside and inside.
Well, when the train pulls into the station, you'll be razzled and dazzled. It is just phenomenal. When you walk inside, welcome to a whole new world. The entire interior is decorated, the stanchions wrapped like candy canes, and you'll be greeted by an elf who will make sure that you have a real candy cane.
And don't forget, you can ride the holiday train for just a regular train fare.
Happy holidays, everyone. Welcome aboard. This is Santa's Express. Bring all stops to 95th.
The holiday train will run on all of our routes across the season. Customers can go to transitchicago.com where they can find the posted schedule for the holiday train. And we invite them to come out and ride it. There is no special fares for the train. It is just a regular train in service, and surprise, surprise when it pulls in.
The train runs beginning the weekend before Thanksgiving, and we have to get Santa back home just before Christmas, so probably about 3 days or the last weekend before Christmas will be his last trip because he has a lot of things to take care of up in the North Pole.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas, everyone!
Check transitchicago.com to see when a holiday train will be pulling into a station near you. We'll be right back. Miss an episode of Connections? Need to find an address or a link feature? Just visit the Connections website. There are several ways to find us. Go to www.transitchicago.com and click on Connections. Or visit the Connections website at podcastchicago.tv and click the Connections link to find the most recent episodes. You can watch episodes online for instant viewing, or you can subscribe with your favorite podcasting tool and automatically download new shows each month. Like all video podcasts, Connections can be viewed directly on your computer or laptop, or can be viewed on a portable media player such as the Video iPod. Connect online with Connections at podcastchicago.tv.
Max, are you in here?
Turn off the lights.
Sorry.
I'm saving energy, helping the environment.
Where are you?
Make a left. No, the other left. My pizza box collection.
Ow!
Hey, I don't have a cat. Watch out for the...
Max, there's an easier way to help the environment, and it won't be such a pain in the neck.
Take public transportation. Go green. Go public. A message from the public transportation systems across the country.
Traveling in and around Chicago on the CTA saves you time and money. I'm Jean Sparrow. Welcome to Connections. We're always looking for story ideas. Do you have a travel secret you'd like to share or a CTA story you'd like to tell? Give us a call at the Connections hotline, 312-681-2812. Helping you make your connections, I'm Jean Sparrow. Thank you for watching.